Welcome to our mini class this week. Our theme this week sort of rides on the theme from last week. Last week we were focusing on the breath, and we're going to focus on the breath again today. Today more focused on the exhalation, whereas last week we were focused more on the inhalation. So the inhalation, if you recall, is an expansive part of the breath. It kind of creates a spaciousness in us. When we feel stressed, we feel more compressed generally. And the exhale has the effect generally of calming and kind of soothing. So when we exhale, it's kind of a letting go of tension, a softening with the breath. Now, that may not be the way that you always feel your breath or that you experience it, but as a general rule, the inhalation does expand, right? Parts of the body, the exhalation is this kind of drawing in and sinking down. A couple other things, the exhale is a contraction. It's a natural contraction. The body kind of gently squeezes the breath out. We can exaggerate that contraction a little bit to work on some core, some of the core muscles that are involved in breathing. So we can use the breath to actually strengthen the muscles. And today we're going to start with a breath that I learned many years ago in my yoga teacher training, 30 years ago. But it's also come back into my awareness as I've been studying about trauma and the nervous system. And this breath was introduced by Peter Levine, who is the founder of somatic experiencing, which I know, Kim, you are studying. And so in this breath, you actually make a sound as you exhale. It's called humming breath. And the humming breath has a relaxing effect on the nervous system through vagal toning. So it tones the vagus nerve, which runs from your brain to various different parts of your body and back. And this breath is toning the vagus nerve so that you come into a greater sense of ease or relaxation through the breath. Now, saying that, any breath technique can have the intended technique. It can also have can have the intended effect. It can also have no effect or even a different effect for you. So I invite you to stay really open to what you experience today and to see what happens. So we're going to start seated, and we'll start with that humming breath. So get yourself comfortable. Chair or the floor is fine, and I'll see you there. So the humming breath is very simple. It is pretty much exactly as it sounds. You're going to inhale through your nose, as long as you can breathe through your nose. If your nose is plugged up, then you'll do this all through your mouth. You're going to inhale through your nose. You'll also exhale through your nose. And with your exhale, you can make the humming sound. It can be soft, or it can be quite loud, or whatever feels right for you. And if you don't feel comfortable humming, you can just do the nice slow exhale and see what effect has for you. So closing your eyes or keeping them open, whatever you prefer, you'll inhale and exhale, humming. And then repeat several times. And then let go of the humming sound and just breathe normally for a moment and tune in and simply notice what sensations you might be aware of right now. It may be an effect of the breath, but maybe just simply whatever you brought into the class with you today. So just noticing what's present for a moment as we let the breath go. Let the humming go. We want to keep breathing. Right, and so the next movement is the cat-cow kind of movement. So it's an extension or arching of the back and then a rounding of the back. And I invite you as you inhale to really focus on the area around the rib cage, where the lungs are, and feel the expansion. You might feel your belly expand as well, that's fine, but the focus is up in this upper chest area. And then as you exhale, I invite you to focus on the area around your waist and the middle. So this area is going to contract and draw in toward the center as you exhale, and this area is going to expand and open as you inhale. Again, there'll be contraction and expansion in both areas, but our attention is up here on the inhale, down here on the exhale. Okay? So as you inhale, you can even take the arms wider, make some space, breathing in all around your rib cage. And then as you exhale, think about tightening a girdle around your waist, all directions drawing in. And then inhale, expanding around the heart. Exhale, drawing in around the abdomen and lower back. Very gentle. So really relax the belly on the inhale and gently draw in toward the center on your exhale. If this feels really comfortable to you and you want to add a little more focus, at the end of your exhale, hold the breath out for 1 or 2 seconds. If you feel any strain with that, just let it go. So you're inhaling fully, exhaling fully, maybe pausing to hold the breath out, gently squeezing in. It's really important to relax the belly as you inhale. Even more important than the gentle contraction on the exhale. Toning the muscles that support our breathing, some of the core muscles. But toning requires just as much the release and the opening and the relaxation as it does the drawing in and contracting. A couple more breaths here. Great. And then let's come up to a neutral spine. So if you're sitting on the ground and your back is kind of grounded, I would invite you to bring a block or a cushion underneath your hips so that your spine can be nice and tall for the twist. So we want the spine to be long and relaxed for the twist, not at all slumped over. Okay? So hands come to the shoulders for this one. Inhaling, allowing the body to expand here in the center. And as you exhale, using your core, drawing the muscles in all around the core as you go to one side, so that action of contracting brings you to the side. You're inhaling as you come to the center, and then exhaling as you twist to the other side. So you can continue that inhaling center. Really let your belly and chest relax as you inhale, and gently draw in from the front, the sides, and the back as much as possible of your abdomen on your exhale. Again, if you want to increase the effect of this work, you can hold the breath for a second after your exhale, as long as there's no strain at all in doing so. Great, and then let's come back to the center. You can release your arms and give your wrists a bit of movement, circling around one way and the other. Okay, interlace your fingers. And then we're going to make a wave with the arms. So if you start with one elbow lifted and kind of wave to the other, and really it doesn't matter what movement actually happens. We're just getting some movement for the wrists and the arms here. Okay, you can also try bringing the hands in front, still interlaced, and moving the wrists around. Kind of circle or forward and back, whatever feels good. And then releasing the hands, palm up, drawing back with the fingertips to give the forearm and the fingers and hand a little stretch. One side and then the other side. And then palm down, gently drawing the top of the hand down, very gentle here. And you can also take your hand around your other hand and gently squeeze in around the knuckles. Just give your hand a little squeeze and then give it a shake. And then other side. So palm down, gently stretching across the top of the wrist. And then you can squeeze around the center of your hand, squeezing the knuckles. And give that hand a shake. Good. And then squeeze both hands into fists and open both hands wide. And squeeze and open. Squeeze and open. Good. And again, give them a little shake. And then I think that the wrists are a little bit warmed up. Now we can come to all fours. If you need padding, more padding under your knees, use a blanket or fold your mat over so that your knees are happy. So we're going to bring our focus back to the breath with this movement. So the inhale movement, there's an expansion around the heart, all around the body. So the back of the heart, the sides, and the front. You want to soften your elbows, let the heart come forward, and breathe into the space there. And then as you exhale, think about your belly button moving in towards the center, drawing in and rounding back. So you're using the breath, moving the body in the way that it naturally moves with the breath. We're just exaggerating. So chest, forward, slightly lifting, breathing into that space. The exhale, starting with your belly button moving back, and let the spine round with that action. You can hold for a second after your exhale if you like, and then inhale, really relax. Relax all the way from your chin to your pubic bone. Feel that long line. And then exhale, drawing in from the belly. Head comes down, pressing into the arms, opening the shoulder blades. Softening the elbows, inhaling. Go at your own pace. A few more here. Great, and then let's come back to a neutral spine, and I'm going to invite you to come to stand. So you can get there however you like. Bringing your feet under you, or coming first to downward dog and walking forward, or coming to a squat. Finding your way slowly upright, taking your time. Coming to mountain pose. Excuse me. So mountain pose, you want to feel your feet as much as possible, really spreading out on the ground. Heels take a little bit more of the weight than the balls of your feet. And when you rock back onto your heels, notice what happens with your thighs. And then let's rock forward onto the balls of the feet. You might feel your thighs drop down and then rock back, feel your thighs pull up. And as you rock back and the thighs pull up, you might also feel your abdominal area gently contract. And as you come forward, and if I show you from the side, there's a little bit of arch as you come forward. and coming back to neutral as you go back. This is very subtle. If you want, you can bring your hands to your belly. Soften your belly, draw the elbows back. Inhale as you rock onto your toes. And then onto your heels, elbows out to the sides, belly coming in, crown lifting. Inhale. Soft belly, make it as big as you can. And then exhale, come in. So it's like the cat-cow movement, but it's just a little more subtle, standing. And then find that action where your weight is back over the heels, the abdomen is slightly engaged just to keep you upright. You're not doing anything in particular here. You're not squeezing your belly tight or trying to hold it tight. You're just engaged naturally to be in this position. Arms to the sides. I also want to say that as women, I know I was taught when I was younger, hold your belly in. It's, you know, not pretty or whatever to have a big belly, and I call BS on that, right? It's natural to have all kinds of different body shapes. And when we hold our bellies in, we actually create tension, and we don't make our bellies stronger. We don't tone the muscles more. Muscles need to release and contract to be strong, not always held. That's called tension, right? Our bodies are beautiful as they are. Can we really embrace whatever we bring to the table? That, of course, is a much bigger topic for another day, but for now, just coming back to the breath, feeling your weight on your heels and finding stability here. So we're going to raise the arms up. So feel your rib cage lift. And then as you bring the arms down, you're going to shift your weight to one foot, and you can either lift just onto the toes of the opposite leg, or you can lift that leg right up, bringing the hands onto the thigh or even around the knee. So it's a little bit of a balance challenge here. So if you find that it's hard to balance, I recommend just keeping your foot on or near the ground as you lift the knee. So lift up with the breath in, shift to one side, lift the other knee any amount. Breathe in as you lower the foot, feel that expansion all the way down your torso, and then exhale. You have to contract your belly and hip flexors to bring the knee up. So it's moving in the way that the breath is already naturally moving. So we're bringing both together to really support the movement. Good. Now, if you can balance here with the leg up, stay for a few breaths. If you're near a wall or a chair, you can always bring one hand onto the chair. If you find it hard to balance, toes down, but the feeling is lifting of the leg. So the toes are on the ground to support you, but the action is a lifting. Good. Now, if you're here and you feel comfortable and it doesn't strain, but it feels like effort, you can let go with both hands and hold the knee there. If you're here and you're saying to yourself, gosh, this is really easy and I want more, stretch your leg out straight. Don't lean back. Right? That just gets rid of all of this engagement here. Keep your body over your standing leg. Even if the leg is down here, still lots of work here. Slowly lower. Pause for a moment. Notice, how does one side feel versus the other side? Let the breath return to a normal pace. And then when you're ready, we'll do the other side. So you're going to inhale up. Exhale, shift your weight. Bring the other knee in any amount. Again, it could stay on the floor. It could come up a little. You could always bring it back to the floor if you're losing your balance, or you can bring it right in toward the chest. So again, you don't want to lean back here. When we lean back, we lose all the engagement. So it's easy. You can even try it. If you straighten your arms, you've got your leg hooked, you lean back, all the effort of staying upright sort of goes away. So we want to bring the knee in, bring the body over the leg, and feel that we're holding with the integrity and engagement. If you like, you can let go. And if you still want more, moving your leg straighter. It doesn't have to be straight. You can lower it to any amount, and then slowly release that leg down. Let's take the feet apart, hands to the hips, and let's release with some slow, gentle circles. one way and the other way. So these muscles in the front of the hips that lift the leg, called the hip flexors, they can get pretty tight if we're sitting a lot. So if you're sitting a lot, it's a really good idea to get up and do a few circles from time to time. Just release those big muscles. And then let's come back to feet under the hips. So we're going to move now into a pose called tree pose. You might be familiar with tree pose. There's a few different ways to do it. We can do it really simply with both feet on the ground or with one foot coming into the opposite leg. So when you're ready, you'll shift your weight to one foot. Try not to throw your hip out to the side. Just shift a little weight. Come onto the toes of the opposite foot and rotate to bring that knee out to the side. And actually, before we go into tree pose, let's just do a little pivot on the toes. So in and out a few times, rotating that hip in and out. You can do it with the toes on the ground, or you can lift the foot and rotate in and out. Good. And then pausing with the knee out, so external rotation, you can bring the foot in close to the ankle. And that already is a challenge for balance. If you want more challenge, lift the foot up onto your calf. Try to avoid the area of your knee, but if you want to go higher, you can reach down, take your ankle, and help to place your foot into the upper thigh. It's a little more challenging to get there, so anywhere along that line is totally fine. Arms can be to the sides for balance, or holding a chair if you need to, or the wall. Be up overhead for an extended tree. Press into the standing leg and reach. Find your breath and take 3 nice, easeful breaths here. If you fall out of the pose, that's fine. Just come back into any version. Try to come out with as much control as you can. So when you're ready to release the arms and release the leg. Coming back to mountain pose, maybe give your legs a little shake. So the standing leg's doing a lot of work there. You probably feel that. You can lift it up and give it a shake if that helps. And then when you're ready, we'll do tree on the other side. So you're going to shift your weight, come onto your toes. Let's start with that pivot movement in and out. So opening and closing the leg, pivoting on the toes. If you want more and you feel balanced, you can lift the toes and do the same thing. Okay, and then toes down, externally rotates. The knee is pointing away from you. Bring the foot in, see if that is enough for you today. I already feel that, yeah, that works my balance muscles. And then if you want more, foot into the calf. Again, avoiding the knee, maybe coming up into the thigh. I actually personally find it easiest to balance for me with my foot in my thigh for some reason. So you find the place that works for you. Easier to balance with the arms to the sides, or some people find arms, hands in the belly easier to balance. Ooh. And if you start to lose your balance, sometimes you can find it before you completely lose it, but there's no shame in bringing a foot down, rebalancing yourself, and coming back into the pose anytime. So we'll take 3 more breaths here. Pressing into the standing leg, lifting up through the heart. And when you're ready, release. The arms, release the leg. And again, you can give a little shake. Shake out the standing leg if that's helpful. And then coming back to Tadasana. So to release after the standing work, we'll do a few forward bends to lengthen the spine, release the legs and the hips. So same thing here with the breath. We're going to inhale and find that little back bend, that little bit of a lift, and then bend your knees, soften, bring your hands to your thighs and draw your belly in. Again, lifting up, relaxing all the way down to the lower abdomen. And then exhale, belly comes in, sides come in. Again, this time if you want to go a little lower in the forward bend, you can reach for the shins or the ankles or the feet. So again, soft on the inhale, expanding, and then gently drawing in on the exhale to support your movement. We'll do one more like that. And then if you like, you can go ahead and stay in that forward bend. Highly recommend a bend in your knees. You can support yourself with your arms or hands on your legs if you like, or cross your arms or dangle your arms, whatever feels good. Let the breath be totally normal, natural here, whatever comes. When you're ready, bring your hands back to your slightly bent knees. Lift the heart. So you're arching your back here. And then if it's available to you and you can keep that bit of arch, take your arms to the sides. Feel your back muscles working now. And then slowly lift up, taking the arms overhead. We'll bring the palms together. And then slowly take the hands down to the front of your heart. Pause here. You can close your eyes if you like. If you feel like you'll lose your balance, then eyes open. And look down at the floor and soften your gaze. Take a moment to be aware, to notice how your body feels now. Take a moment to bring in any gratitude that you might feel for your practice, for giving yourself this space today, for the community that allows these classes to happen, and for your beautiful breath that supports your life, that gives you so much to work with. We encourage you to take these ideas into your day. So if you need more space, focus on your inhalation if you're feeling compressed and stressed. And if you need to let go and soften, focus on your exhale. And if you're feeling stressed and you're feeling a little wound up, try the humming breath and see how that works for you. So a few new tools today. I encourage you to take them with you and have a beautiful day. Namaste.